I will tell you the best way to increment your oxygen with a basic relaxing procedure. There is a ton of disarray on this oxygen subject. And one of the large ones is on the off chance that you profound inhale. You're going to get more oxygen. That is totally false. As a matter of fact, if you have any desire to demonstrate it to yourself, simply start profound relaxing at the present time and perceive what amount of time it requires before you wind up passing out. You're going to begin feeling woozy. You're going to feel tired. So, yes, when you're profound breathing, you're getting more air. However, you're not getting more oxygen. You realize we have this bogus thought that oxygen is great and CO2 is terrible. It's a waste item. However, on the off chance that we investigate what's in air, there's a great deal of oxygen. There's not much of CO2. In the event that we do an examination among oxygen and CO2 in units, it'd resemble 160 units of oxygen per given measure of air to a third of 1%. That is 3. Alright, CO2. So the inquiry is, where is the CO2 coming from when we breathe out? It's coming from our cells. The mitochondria takes in oxygen, consumes stuff. What's more, discharges CO2. So our bodies are CO2 machines. Obviously, with plants, it's simply the contrary. They eat CO2 and they put out oxygen. However, I believe that you should comprehend, something about CO2 and oxygen. There's something many refer to as the drag impact. That's B. And the drag impact sort of goes like this. The oxygen won't be delivered from your red platelets except if you have sufficient CO2. How much oxygen that is set free from your blood into your cells is reliant upon CO2. Assuming that you're breathing a ton, right? And you're not ready to have sufficient CO2 in there, you're going to get a lot of oxygen to an extreme. Oxygen is extremely harming to the body. If you gave a child unadulterated oxygen, you can, all things considered, cause visual impairment. You can cause an epileptic seizure. You could cause that child to go in a trance-like state. There's a great deal of oxidation that occurs with something over-the-top oxygen. And for this reason, like profound breathing isn't the most ideal way to get a part of oxygen. And unwinding. Anybody that is in a frenzy state will be hyperventilating. They will be breathing unreasonably, attempting to get more air. And it's very shape intuitive since they will get less air. You have something many refer to as intense hyperventilation and constant hyperventilation, where many individuals are in this constant stage. We know about the intense hyperventilation. When you're in a fit of anxiety and you're relaxing unnecessarily and you don't feel far better, I need to build your mindfulness on another condition called ongoing hyperventilation. One more name for that is called carbon dioxide disorder. This is a truly fascinating book I'm perusing. Furthermore, I'm sharing a few information from this book. So the carbon dioxide condition is essentially an absence of carbon dioxide, since the individual is consuming excessively air, and essentially, I think a ton of this is set off by pressure, and the pressure is continually keeping us attempting to relax more through our mouths. And this drains the CO2, and presently, we can't ingest oxygen into the cells. And this causes issues with the heart stress. It makes a state of hypoxia, which is an absence of oxygen. It makes weakness, sleep deprivation, muscle jerking, and this other side effect, which is an expanded receptor, which is entrancing that a low sum of CO2 will increment receptors, which is going to cause a stodgy nose. Likewise, this absence of CO2 will make less carbonic corrosive, and the blood turns out to be more antacid. And afterward, we have a major issue eliminating calcium from the cells. Calcium starts to aggregate. Since you have this constant hyperventilation, and an absence of CO2 is, as a matter of fact, another justification for why you would develop of calcium in the tissues. And then, at that point, the nerves don't work. You feel shivering. You most likely notification that when you explode an inflatable or something, you could see stars or feel shivering all through your body. Well, that is what's happening. The pH of your blood is changing, so only similarly as a smoker has an absence of oxygen in their cells, when you get a lot of air, you likewise have an absence of oxygen, more profound in the cells. Currently, there's enough oxygen that is trapped in your red platelets. However, it's not being delivered, which will make you attempt to inhale more, and the entire cycle begins going around and around. Now, there's an exceptionally straightforward answer for fix this issue. Furthermore, train your body to take in a certain method for getting oxygen profound into the cells. Settle a great deal of medical issues that you probably won't actually be associating with this issue of absence of CO2. So, number 1. Loosen up breathing, okay? You need to inhale extremely delicate and delicate. You need to inhale through your stomach and your stomach, not your upper chest. So you need to take in leisurely for 5 seconds, and then breathe out for 5 seconds, and afterward do that reliably in a delicate manner, without strain. SPS before you go to rest around evening time, particularly when you're driving in rush hour gridlock or staring at the television, you can begin to prepare your body to relax accurately in light of the fact that when somebody under stress, they're somewhat like. So this breathing technique is one thing that you have some control over, and change your whole physiology. You can pull yourself out of a thoughtful complement or battle pressure mode. And to make sure you know, I do this before I hit the sack. Each and every night, you might get a free application that assists you with timing your breathing so you can all things considered envision like a ball growing. What's more, contracting, or some sort of, sound component or a timing system to practice this. Taking in and relaxing out. Recurrence. Good. Number 2. You need to inhale through your nose, not your mouth, okay? The nose will condition the air, humidify it, cleans it, sift through things consistently. You're consuming around 500 liters of air, and if you go through your nose, you'll as a matter of fact have way preferred quality air over in the event that you go through your mouth. Since first of all, you sift no microorganisms through, or any particulates, they generally go right into the lungs, while breathing through your nose, you get an opportunity to have a great, safe separating component. You too have limitation of air, which coincidentally will expand your oxygen by 20%. Just by breathing through your nose, it's going to feel like your air is prohibitive. However, you will get more oxygen. And 3 and 4 include resting around evening time. You can get those nose strips, those nasal strips. They go right across here. Opens up the highest point of your sinuses. You can inhale somewhat better, particularly in the event that you have a stodgy nose, and you can get some mouth tape. Alright? That you just put a little piece of tape right here while you're dozing around evening time to train you to inhale through your sinuses so you can channel the air all night long. You can get more oxygen. You'll have better rest. You won't wake up with a dry mouth. You presumably will not be wheezing any longer. And you awaken feeling invigorated. There's some extra data on drinking carbonated water, which is essentially CO2. Furthermore, water that I think you'll find very entrancing. I am far more hydrated when I drink carbonated water than if I just hydrated.